Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Legacy United Cyberverse Chromia. Yes, Cyberverse Chromia. This is apparently meant to be the Cyberverse character. And yet, this just looks like a blue version of animated Prowl. And that's because this is literally a retool of animated Prowl with a new head. Okay then. Now, despite that, I actually kind of like this figure. Well, we'll get more into why soon, because of course, first of all, we've got the box to look at. So here we've got the usual Legacy United packaging. So of course, standard lack of window, which I hope they reverse by next year, because I keep seeing like stolen head reports everywhere. But we've got a picture of Chromia in motorcycle mode. Cyberverse Universe Chromia. If you want to forget like Earthspark Universe in Gen Prime, like maybe 2026, I don't know, maybe. But anyways, this side we got a picture of Chromia right there, and again, you can pretty much just see that that's Prowl. Got her head right there. The side got one half of the United mural. The back got her in both modes, and yeah, that's just Prowl. That is animated Prowl right there. She's even got the friggin' shurikens that Prowl has. I don't think Chromia had those in Cyberverse. But, well, that's pretty much it for the box. And moving on to the figure. Well, of course, with this being a redeco of animated Prowl, this is pretty much the same kind of motorcycle as him. Except it's now done in Chromia's standard blue. And honestly, I actually kind of like this. I don't know, I think it's just because I really like the color blue. I mean, Thundercracker is my favorite Seeker after all. But something about this, I actually kind of like this. Now, don't get me wrong, as Cyberverse Chromia, but as just Chromia, I can see this. Like, if they had just labeled this as Chromia and not Cyberverse Chromia, I feel like this would work. We're looking at the details. Well, the front, we got some silver paint right here, which actually sort of goes down to the front, I guess, wheel rim. Got the Ultra insignia right there, along with the red windshield. Got the handlebars right there. Got a light blue stripe just painted on, which I think looks really nice. Of course, got a folded up robot, just like a Prowl, but you have the kickstand, which lets her just stand up normally. Of course, the back is just the arms, but we've got... I'm proud this is meant to be a light bar, but on Chromia, I'm not sure. This could still be a light bar, maybe this is just some lights, I don't know. But some that they kept, we still have like the gauges that Prowl had. So, that's actually kind of cool. Just have a port right there. You can probably see a core class on this, maybe, I don't know. But we can see that this doesn't really roll that well, because, yeah, just like with my Prowl, the shurikens, like, you have to put them on a certain way, otherwise it doesn't really roll that well. And because of that, she can't really roll backwards, otherwise it's going to get stuck and it's going to come off. I think it's actually this wheel. Like, I can't roll it backwards, otherwise it's going to get caught. and it's not showing on camera. But well, you can see it on this wheel, it's much stiffer moving compared to this wheel. And sometimes, like, one of these blades can get caught and the whole thing just opens up, which, yeah, that's also a problem with Prowl. But underneath, we can pretty much just see one of the feet right there. And that's pretty much it. The accessories are of course, the shurikens, and they're on the wheels. So look at those later. So, putting here next to Prowl, we can see that these two actually look kind of good together. Like, got paint in different areas. Like, here the entire windshield is open, but here it's sort of painted over. Some different paint applications here. Oh, it's not down fully. You can see what I was talking about, so the light bar here. So you can see that, yeah, it's the same mold, but got some differences over the paint to make it a little. Well, the paint differences just make them look slightly different from each other. So, yeah. And I guess if you wanted to, this could just be an animated version of Chromia instead of the Cyberverse character. I mean, like, why not? So, yeah. And overall, that's pretty much all I have to say about the bike mode. I think this, I think this looks really nice. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't resemble the Cyberverse character's bike mode, but in fact, did she transform in the show at all? Because like there was a bunch of characters that just do not transform whatsoever in the show. So she probably just did not transform in the show whatsoever. I don't know, but if she did, I'm pretty sure this is not accurate to the show, but well, if you look at this as just Chromia and not the Cyberverse character, I think this looks really good. So, yeah. So, moving on to the transformation. So, transformation is just like Prowl's. I'm gonna leave these on because you can leave the shurikens on during transformation, and well, if you just don't want to holding them, then they can just stay on the wheels. So, I'll just leave them on during the transformation. But to start off, I'm just going to get my fingernail in here and try and untap this. Try to be careful not to scratch the paint off. It's not coming off. There we go. So you take one foot out, like so. Untap the side bits from the other foot and just move them forward. Got the handlebars and move them up. Straighten out this leg. Then with the other leg, we just straighten out the foot. Move in the, I guess, kickstands. Did I call it a landing gear earlier? Oh, I can't remember. But just moving the kickstand. Straighten out the other leg. And now we have our legs all done. And now we have this. So what we do with this, we untap the arms, move them out, move up this flap, and then just straighten it all out. Just move down the front section and then flip these bits around, like so. Try not to get the head stuck though. Here we go. Let's just move these bits around. So now we've got this. Rotate the waist 90 degrees, then move the head down. Rotate the hands out. Just get the arms down. And here we have Chromia in robot mode. And, well, that's definitely an asymmetrical transformation. Like, when I first did Prowl's transformation, I was actually kind of confused, but like redoing it with Chromia, I get it now. So, yeah. And honestly, I think that's actually quite fun once you know what you're doing. So, yeah. And having a 360 of her, well, again, it's just blue Prowl. So, of course, it's not going to resemble the Cyberverse character that much. Like, here's the Cyberverse character next to this figure, and you can sort of see how different these characters look. If anything, I would say that this would more resemble like an animated version of the character rather than Cyberverse. But, well, if you just think of this as just a version of Chromia, not the Cyberverse version of Chromia, then honestly, I still think that this is a good figure in that regard. Because let's be honest, the Siege version was a bit... And, well, of course, if this isn't your fancy, then there's always the Friendly 30 version. But, well, giving her the weapons, of course. Got the shurikens on the wheels. We can just get those off now. And, of course, we've got this nice light blue detailing in the wheel. We're just getting these off. Got these, I guess, macaroons. But, of course, these can open up to form the shurikens. Further showing that this is just a Prowl redeco. And this one always has trouble opening up, so you just have to do a bit of ratchets. So now that we have this, we can just get those into her hands, and I can see one hand is actually designed to hold these weapons, whereas the other is just a typical 5mm hand. So this one can hold actual weapons, whereas this one can only hold these shurikens, whether it's hers or Prowl's. And yeah, this one can hold the shurikens quite well, but this one... I'm pretty sure there's like a little bit that it slots into, but... I always have trouble trying to get this thing into her hand. But well, once you do get it in, well, it actually looks quite good. So yeah. Now once again, I'm pretty sure that she did not use shurikens in Cyberverse. Pretty sure she had a bow weapon actually. But hey, if we had kind of this as like an animated Chromia, then... I mean, hey, why not? And again, putting her next to Prowl, we can see that it's pretty much the same figure, just with a different head sculpt. But we can see that some of the paint apps are also different, like the placement of the Ultima insignia. You can see that the triangle on the quarter piece is no longer there. Well, it's painted over. As I mentioned, some different paint decals, and I guess what's on the wing pieces. How the inner wheel is painted. In fact, these triangles are no longer painted on Chromia. And of course, a new head. And yeah, that's definitely Chromia's head sculpt. And of course, I can't really show it here, but they still have the gauges on the back for the vehicle mode, which I actually quite like. So, yeah. And of course, she doesn't come with a gun, so there's not really any plastic compatibility here. But of course, with there being ports everywhere, like the sides here, the back, and of course the feet, you can still plug some in if you want to, or you can just put in some armorizers, like, I don't know, have her and Shard be like a girl duo or something. And well, for the articulation, it's exactly like Prowl's. So of course, you can look up as per the transformation. She can look side to side. She can look down as well. Arms can move. Bicep rotation. She's got elbows. She can T-pose. Waist rotation. She can kick forward as well as kick back. She can do the splits. So what the thigh here. She's got knees. I guess a joint there for the transformation, and she's got foot. Well, she's got foot articulation as well as a pivot there. So yeah, that's quite poseable. And I guess the wrist can also go in, but of course, with her currently holding her weapons, I'm not going to risk her dropping them. And honestly, that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. Like, when I first saw this figure, I was actually a bit disappointed, because it was just a Prowl mold, but getting it in hand, I actually quite like it. Like, I know this is apparently advertised as Cyberverse Chromia, but yeah, it doesn't really look like her. Like, the wheels are not here, for example. They're down here, but for me, personally, like, I'm used to Legacy doing this. I remember when we first saw Prime Universe Bulkhead and RC. So, yeah. So, honestly, if you imagine this is just a version of Chromia and not the Cyberverse character, honestly, I think that this is a really good figure. As good as Prowl, I mean, that's really up for your interpretation. Like, do you love animated? Then you'll probably prefer Prowl. If you love Chromia, then you'll probably prefer this figure. But honestly, I think I actually kind of prefer Chromia, just due to the color scheme. I don't know, I think it's just because blue is one of my favorite colors, along with red, so that's why I kind of prefer this figure. Don't get me wrong, I love Prowl, but something about the colors just makes me like this figure a bit more. So, yeah. So, complaints. Honestly, same complaints that I had with Prowl. Like, the shurikens can be a bit of a pain in the ass to hold. Unless you, like, manage it. And, like, because, like, you saw me. And you saw she only dropped this one a few times. And in my Prowl review, I'm pretty sure I fiddled with this quite a lot in the Prowl review. But it can be managed. Just this hand holds the shurikens a lot better. Also in vehicle mode, like, if they're not closed up properly, it sort of makes it hard to roll, especially going backwards. So, yeah. But yeah, same complaints that I had with Prowl, to be honest. So, do I recommend this figure? Well, as just Chromia, absolutely, because this is a really good looking figure, and compared to the Siege version, this is honestly an upgrade. But as Cyberverse Chromia, I mean, it's not really that accurate. This is more animated Chromia, if you ask me, but still, as just Chromia, I think that this is a really nice figure. So, yeah, I honestly recommend this. So, yeah, this has been my review on Legacy United Chromia, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.